You know, I was scrolling on Twitter for work purposes. I mean, engagement is technically work, isn't it? Anyways, I saw this post that I felt was very relevant to my business, which I'm gonna put up right here. It made me stop and think to myself, because the way things are going, I'm currently on track to be making my first 1K month. Sure, a small absolute number, but a huge milestone for myself. And it was something that I've been working on for the last 2 years. Yeah, I mean, like 2 years of daily work. And things started to just kind of slowly pick up in the last few months. I mean, sure, it took me this long because of my absolute ignorance when it comes to any kind of business, but I'd learn something new every few days and just do my best to implement it. It's incredibly cliche, but every new thing I learned was like having one brick and laying it on top of another. And then somehow, after doing that for 2 years or so, I had the most simple, basic, crumbling, rickety type of wall. It exists, it's real, and I can hit it, but I just can't do that too hard. My point is, my own ignorance and lack of skill were and still are the things that are majorly holding me back even to this day. But there were a couple of simple frameworks and models that I was using that helped me accelerate a lot more in the last 2 months than I have in the last 2 years. And that's what I want to talk about here today. The first is a bit of a Russian nesting doll, but it starts out as this. What is the thing that you are required to do to reach your goals, not what is your best that you can currently do? I'll explain. I'll start out with a general example, then I'll lean towards a more specific one for myself. Say that you're trying to lose weight, and for that you know that you need to do 30 minutes of walking every day. That is what you are required to do, even though your best may have been to just walk for 10 minutes. But you don't want to give up those amazing ice cream sandwiches from the shop nearby you that you snack on all the time. I can't blame you. I love those things a lot as well. But the calorie deficit still has to come from somewhere, and I tell you, your body doesn't care at all where is it coming from. So back to our point, say that your best is 10 and you need to do 30. So that means that you need to do something to reach the number that is required of you, not your best. And so you need to find a way to grow beyond your limits, to reach beyond your capacity. And how you devise that method is up to you. So maybe it's switching to jump rope instead of walking, because then you'd only need 15 minutes. Or maybe it's just waking up just a bit earlier so you have enough time to get that walk in. Or maybe you just really hate the feeling of being sweaty like myself, so you choose an exercise like swimming. But I'll tell you how that is related to my own scenario. Basically, I wasn't doing enough reach outs, not at all. I wanted to have 4 to 6 clients that I'm working with consistently every month, while still knowing that it took about 20 personalized reach out messages with lead magnets for me to get one client from that. You know, after thinking about it for a while. Keep in mind that I was doing 1 per day. No wonder I was struggling, especially after calculating that for me to get the acquisition rate that I wanted, I needed to do pretty much 10 times of what I was doing. You know, and I have to manage that without this happening to my brain. Yeah, fun time. Yeah, as if living here wasn't already a Dark Souls game. Now Milena showed up. Now, the obvious first step for me is to get rid of everything that isn't absolutely necessary so I can free up more time to do more reach outs. And this is maybe something that you have noticed already, but I hope you didn't. Basically, now I create all the videos for this channel in the span of one day. Meaning I write the scripts, record the video, edit it, and make it ready for publish all in one day of the week, which left me more time to make more reach outs. But the real gains wasn't actually in here, believe it or not. It wasn't batching my videos and compressing the time that it took me. While becoming a hermit to the outside world, it was actually realizing that I'm too old. I mean, too slow. But yeah, the biggest problem I was having is that I was just too slow at making those reach out messages. Mainly because of the samples that I was making, because they took the longest time by far. But on the other hand, they were the most effective. So it's very much a trade-off. But I realized that there had to be some way to improve, because someone else that I kinda knew was doing 20 to 30 a day. So I started scouring through every resource that was available and every video as well. And side note, when we watch these kind of videos and read those kind of books, we always have it in the back of our mind that, yeah, I'm gonna get to do this later, I'm gonna work it out at that point, subconsciously. No, sit down now, think how you can apply it, make a plan and execute on it. But back on topic. But I wasn't doing it right. There was a way. I wasn't using templates or presets. I wasn't making the work that I already had done in the past into simple modular packages that I could just drop in. I hadn't done enough samples for me to realize instantly how I can improve a piece of work or how can I add more value to someone else's idea. Which led to me being stuck and thinking for like 30 minutes before I had an idea to implement. But as with anything, the more I did it, the easier it got, and the more I did it, the faster I got at it. And this is a bonus one. None of this would have happened if I hadn't tracked the time that it would take me. If I didn't track that on average it was taking me over an hour to do one of those samples, I wouldn't have realized that it was an extremely long time and that there had to be some way to shorten it down. And same with tracking how many reach outs it took me to land one client. If it's important weight, money, health, fitness, productivity, then I track it, because if I don't, then I'll never be able to improve it. You can't improve what you cannot measure. So in that spirit, here's the time management video, and here's another one about how I do my reach outs these days. If you can, subscribe, because I'm trying to reach 1K by the end of the year, and bye.